This is the reason why Man City is always winning the league every season, because they renew their mind and renew their resolve. Transit TV, welcome to Reggie Football Show. Today, I have Choma on the show, with whom my partner in crime is not in town. He's on his way, traveling around the globe. So today, I'm in-house with Choma. We're trying to look at Arsenal preseason, especially the game that was played yesterday between Arsenal and Man United. Obviously, Arsenal fans are disappointed and a little bit hard done by that one. It was unexpected, but it's good. You know, that one of the reasons why preseasons are being are used, you know, to figure out some of these things. We had a very pretty preseason last year, but this one has been hit and miss. So we're going to look at those, you know, that game and a few things, you know, happening in Arsenal and Man United at the moment. So Choma, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Raji. Thank you. Thank you. It's such an honor to be here with you today. And I also want to shout out to our viewers, our listeners, all over the world. I want to believe that you all are watching us and seeing the good work we're doing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe so you can enjoy all the football greatness that we're bringing your way. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Like Choma said, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. We are still on the road to 2,000 subscribers before the beginning of the season next month. You guys are doing a good job. We appreciate you, but we know you can do better. You know, also get busy on the comment section and let us know what you feel about our views on the issues that we discuss on this channel. It will be very important for us to get feedback from you to understand how you feel and what you think about these issues. So go ahead and hit the like button, notification button, and let's push the channel out there. Also, don't forget that we're going to be at LA. Look out for us in the stadium, or after the game, after the stadium. We'll be having interviews with our fans and the fans of Barcelona. So if you're a viewer in this channel and you're going to be in LA, look for Transit TV. We'll be glad to have you there and share the great moment of the preseason game and thoughts about the game that will be played, and you know, Arsenal and Barcelona going into the season. We look forward to seeing you there in LA in 2 days' time. And good to have you. So let's go. Choma, this one yesterday was, you know, anytime Man United and Arsenal have a game, nobody cares if it's preseason, if it's whatever it is, even if it's the underage games, is usually a very taken seriously. And for the lineup yesterday, it was very, very obvious that both managers took the game very seriously. I saw Varane and Martinez, you know, pair together in the heart of the Man United defense with Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, which is their regular back four. They had Mason Mount deployed from the left side of the wing of the midfield. And Arsenal, on the other hand, had William Saliba and Gabriel. Of course, Zinchenko was not available, so Arteta decided to play Tomiyasu on the left side of the defense and gave Julian Timber his debut start for Arsenal. And Declan Rice, of course, we saw him, you know, anchor the pivot behind Kai Havertz and Odegaard. When you saw the lineup for the game, what did you make about the strength of the lineup that both sides, you know, started in the game?
Okay, I would really want to compliment the lineups, most especially, of course. And I saw the lineup. It looked good when I saw it in other, you know, they put it out also on the Arsenal page. I was like, this lineup is perfect, it's fire. Because I saw what Arteta tried to do. He was intentional, picking everybody. He was very intentional. If really anybody would ask me, he was being very intentional. He put everybody, strategically placed everybody where they could, you know, do something. Yeah, I missed Zinchenko yesterday. I know he's okay. I don't think he's out, you know, for no. He was he was there for the previous game. So I really, really missed his input yesterday. You could see, while we move on, on the topic, I'm sure Reggie wants to know what I thought about that defense and, Mahales. I felt he was just all over the place because I imagine like the commentators, I could tell they were a bit biased when the game started. They just praised Arsenal a lot. They praised us a lot. They spoke about how well we built up our attack. When they were doing that whole substitution, when we had the lineups of people like Jorginho, when Jorginho them were coming up, you saw the way four of them paired up, and they were like, wow, it feels so good to be an Arsenal fan right now because the attacking packages are all full and all of that. But yesterday I kept looking for Mahales. Like, where did you go? I mean, that second goal, for the life of me, shouldn't have happened. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
it was really a very tricky game. So let's get into the game right quick. Like you rightly said, myself, I was a little bit, would I say, shocked or surprised about the lineup. But at the same time, I think what that I've tried to do with that lineup was to get in the players that we just signed. Obviously, they are the areas that we needed depth last season. So probably try to see what we have got
Yeah,
and how how
yeah,
the options we have in those areas. Like you see, Ben White, toward the end of the season, because of Tomiasi's absence, he was knackered. So that one reasons why he got to Karen Timber. And obviously, if you remember in this show in the past, who said Timber is going to come to form the inversion from the right side when we don't have Zinchenko. So I think he tried that out. Since we didn't have Zinchenko on the left, he played the Timber on the right to invert from the right side of the defense, which is why he was
yeah,
started. Then also know that Partey, we all know his quality. But toward the end of the season, he tired out, which is one of the reasons why the Rice came in. So he tried to see how the Rice would also cope. As before, we used to have Partey and Xhaka. So this season,
yeah,
probably wants to go with one pivot. So we wanted to see how the Rice was going to cope, with just him sitting behind Odegaard and Kai
yeah.
Havertz. So, yeah, I saw what he tried to do. But for me, I'm sure he learned some things, going into the
Yeah,
game. So let's
yeah,
get into the
yeah,
game. Like you mentioned a few minutes ago, I think Arsenal started that game for the most part, minus the goals that were scored, unfortunately. Arsenal had a very good rhythm in the game, especially with the
yeah.
front three. In our attack, they look sharp. Saka looks like he has gone up 4 gears. That boy, it just keeps getting better by every
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Martinelli was as sharp as ever. So what did
Very
you make about Arsenal starting into the game and those two goals that are considered?
okay. I would want to say that it was a friendly, but United were not being very friendly, I must say. They were playing like they were playing for some cup or something.
Yeah,
Uh, we started real good. And irrespective of, the goals, I know I shouldn't be saying this because goals are goals, but it's a friendly, so let me just exercise my, expressiveness. So irrespective of the goals, I saw we had misses, we had near
yeah, yeah,
misses.
definitely.
We tried and we pushed. But if there was something, I kept going like woo, woo, maybe because I'm a girl, I was being such a girl, like the passes were so accurate. I don't know if any other person saw that. Maybe some people will be like, "Oh, you're a national fan, so why wouldn't you say?" When I want to say something about them, I would say I'll point out a mistake. But the passes were just accurate.
Yeah,
Martinelli, Saka, from everybody, I was satisfied. I wasn't getting, I wasn't tired out
yeah,
because I knew that the guys were playing the game, but the defense, something was wrong. It was wrong because the first goal was as a result of a counter, I guess,
mhm.
that there should have been a cover up. I mean, Saliba, Gabriel behind. Of course, Tomiyasu isn't that slow. He should have picked up or done something, but it was just Gabriel. I don't know. He was just all over the place, and he's unlike him. And believe me, I don't like it whenever he's in that mood, because whenever he's in that mood, bad things happen to us. Yes.
Yeah.
Bad things happen to us when Gabriel is in that mood where he's all over the place. Like he needs to get his act together.
So what we if I ask you if you want to, you can mention names. What were the issues you identified in the Arsenal game yesterday that you think probably Arteta needs to address?
Okay, I noticed I'll have to keep shouting Gabriel Magalhaes today. Seriously. I mean, even in church today, I still was arguing with one of my friends in church, and he's an Arsenal fan. And he kept telling me, Gabriel, Gabriel. I'm like, why is Gabriel so popular? And I don't feel good. Like, Gabriel, most of the time, he is efficient. I mean, when Saliba went out the last season, Gabriel, oh my days, that guy fought like a tiger,
Yeah.
But I don't know if this laxity is as a result that, of course, Williams is back. So let's just start to make a mess. But this is not the season we make a mess. We're in the Champions League, for crying out loud. Okay, like he needs to be. Gabriel, for me, he wasn't doing it for me because I looked at everybody. I looked at Timber. I looked at Rice. He was in the DM position. I looked at him. I looked at everybody. But my focus was the back. Somebody was not covering up. Even that second goal for Gabriel, he can do it as
it was awful.
I've seen him clear somebody's leg. He has cleaned somebody off the sidelines before.
Yeah, and there was no pressure on him. I didn't even know what was going on with him.
Jordan did. I think he was mentally, maybe he wasn't in the game. That goal Sancho scored, the second goal, Gabriel clears players every time off the sidelines. I know it's his move. You can't score that goal on his watch because you will be outside the score line.
Yeah, definitely.
That's where you.
Yeah, for me, watching that game yesterday, I found that even though we are doing very well, especially in the first half, but I also saw some things that I want to. I don't know if you agree with me.
Okay.
First of all, we were a little bit open to play against in the midfield. Having only Rice there, unlike when we have Xhaka alongside Partey most times in defensive situations, it was just Declan Rice. So we were a little bit and mind you, do their counter. We were always easy to play again. I think that our defense was a little bit exposed. And I believe Kai Havertz, I know he's your boy, but I believe it's not a slight on him, but I think he has not really understood. He's not used to the intensity that Arsenal plays with. And there were a few times I saw him, press in isolation. And most times Arsenal always plays in harmony. Then we'll catch you there. But I have sometimes we was breaking the press line, and mind we are able to play through it. So I think he needs to raise his intensity and understand his positioning on the pitch. I think he's still trying to get used to that. Kieran Timber had a very good game, but he was caught out of position so many times, which was a problem for our defense line. The version that Tata is using him for, I think he's very, very good at it. He's comfortable on the ball. He's strong in his duels. He could play forward. I even saw him a few times in the first half. He got into Man United 18-year, but there was one pass that he laid off Saka that was supposed to have scored, but maybe squandered that chance. But defensively, positionally, he has some very dodgy moments. I think he needs to work on that. Another person that surprised me yesterday that had a very, very terrible game was Ramsdale. Ramsdale, I was wondering what's going on with this guy because he didn't have confidence with the ball. He kept playing long balls, and that's not how Arsenal play. Anytime he takes those long balls, either they go out of play or they go to the opponent. I was like, what's going on with Ramsdale? Then the goal that Fernandez scored as well, he should have done better in that goal. I don't think that goal, even though Kai Havertz lost his man and couldn't stay with Fernandez, Bruno, but Ramsdale still had a chance to save that one. And you could see that the camera was focused on him, for a few seconds after that goal was scored. Then another person, Declan Rice, he had a good game in the eye, but tactically, I think he also still has some job to do in terms of understanding how Arsenal play, and the intensity was a little bit, I think his vacation was a little too much this time, so he still has some catch up to do with fitness. So for me, going into our first game in the season, Partey might have to play from that position, or he plays two of them. Then the other person I think that, I'm sorry to say this, Nketiah, I think he might have to leave us now. I don't think he has much more to bring to the table. You know, he's one of the reasons why we didn't do well in the first half, because the way Arsenal plays, our striker comes to join the play, and he couldn't do that yesterday. He was just
he was
I
unable
didn't
to
see him
actually.
throughout the game. So I don't know what you
I
think
felt
about these issues I've raised.
I felt the game was too intense for Nketiah. Nketiah is more like a tapping kind of guy. Yeah, he has the turns, like when he's on the ball, like when the ball gets to him, he knows how to turn and engage, but he's more like a tapping kind of guy. And yesterday, the game was very intense from, the first half to the second half. So there were no moments where he had to do the whole, score the goals on tappings and all of that. So I feel like you're right. You're right about Nketiah. I'm not about him leaving anyway, because I'm very, very particular, but I like Eddie actually. So I think he's one of those boys that we should keep around. He'll get better, because I feel he tries to put in the work.
Yeah.
Even in the way he talks, and he tries.
Yeah, but the problem is that, okay, he might have a good attitude, but he's not bringing the performance on the table. You're a striker, for crying out loud. Your job is to score goals. If he had a chance, either you give the keeper something to worry about, or he squared the ball for somebody to tap in. But he took a shot with his left leg. I didn't know if he was trying to score or he was trying to make a pass. And that chance just went like that. At the highest level, you don't squander those kind of chances. You have to make an impact with it. So that's my problem with Nketiah. I don't have any issues with him. I don't think he's a bad player. But for where we want to go right now, I don't think Nketiah is the man that we need. He looks like he has hit his ceiling. I don't know. I might be wrong, but
the super sub, the better super sub.
Yeah,
He's
but
that kind of guy
the problem is that when you
bring
bench
in.
him and you don't start him, they start saying give him minutes. Then you start him, they say no, come from bench. So I really don't envy Arteta on this one. I don't know what he wants to do with Eddie, but for me, I don't think he's good enough.
No, but like seriously, I mean, this guy came off the bench. Is it Reece Nelson? Is that it?
Yeah.
He came off the bench this season, and all the time he did come off the bench, they were beautiful. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they were beautiful moments. It's just very. I mean, I know Arteta knows what he's doing. And I know he's
I don't
working.
think we should make too much out of that game. We're just, of course, looking at the game critically and picking out things that we saw.
Yeah.
Before the season starts, the team will be ready. That will get them ready for it. At least it's good we have this kind of a hiccup now, or shock, because it looked like Arsenal was a little bit overconfident. They tell that they continue from where we stopped last season, but it doesn't work like that. The new season, you have to do new work. You have to have new mentality and be ready to go again. This is the reason why Man City is always winning the league every season, because they renew their mind and renew their resolve to stay at the top. So this is going to be a very huge season for us now, for this team of players, for the coach and stuff like that. One other good thing that came out from that game yesterday, if I found out, if you agree with me, is ESR, Emily Smith-Rowe. Even though he had a very good cameo yesterday, and I think I was telling my friend yesterday, I was telling Nugum that from what I saw yesterday, I prefer Smith-Rowe in that position than Kai Havertz. I'm going to go by what I saw yesterday, honestly.
Guys have come again. You could never allow Kai to rest. Come on. Give the guys some breathing space. He's in Arsenal and Chelsea. No disrespect to Chelsea, but they're not the same. The football part is not the same.
No, I agree with you. I'm not right to know Kai Havertz. I've seen some things in him to know that he should do well in Arsenal, but he has work to do to meet up, because this level where the team is way, way, way ahead. So he needs to, roll his sleeves and work, because otherwise going to be out of play. Because those boys, you see Martinez, those boys play and run like lions. So if you're not ready to put in the work, it's going to be difficult for Havertz to have a starting shirt in that team. Yeah, let's not make too much out of Arsenal and the game. You're mute. Let's look at United. What did you make about what do you think was the approach that United, deployed going into that game yesterday?
They were very much on top of their game, I must confess. They were very much on top of their game. They were not being friendly in any way. I mean, yesterday, Lisandro Martinez, that guy, that guy was just the problem. I mean, he was doing his job. He did it too well. Okay? He just did it too well. I was having this conversation with one of my youth friends, and they're like, Lisandro. I'm like, keep quiet. It was until we called Lisandro Martinez, we kind of showed interest. You guys went under our nose and grabbed him and got him. Some United fans told me he was too short to be a defender.
Yes,
I was a friend of mine on Twitter. He now quoted, I think he quoted, was it Carragher or who, said he was short. That guy is too short to be a defender or whatever. He just quoted two guys, and I said, keep quiet, United fans. That guy is good at what he does. And yesterday he showed them that he understands the job. You had him, you had Bahrain, these guys, they didn't have to play. Everybody, I was smelling blood. I mean, Rashi didn't come on until, look at the pride. They came in proud. They didn't start Rashford. They didn't start him. They brought this child. What's his name? The dark child. I'm trying to remember his position. And he was running circles around all of us. I feel like, and of course, like, you just can't. I mean, their new captain, the Portugal guy, Bruno, as in, that guy is somebody you can bank on any day. I'm sure if he generates electricity for Nigeria, we'll never have no electricity. You can depend on him every time. Keep banking on him to keep doing and bringing out the best out of your whole players. So great.
Yeah, seriously. For me, watching that game yesterday, like you rightly said, Man United were not playing. They didn't come to play. They were serious about the game. They approached the game very well. And the lineup, also showed that Ten Hag tried to go with as much as, the starting 11 as he could lay his hands on.
Did you see how excited he was? Like he was playing the Champions League final.
Yeah, you see the time that Arsenal, Man United scored goals, the way he was celebrating, and the ones, even chances that they missed. So I big up to him. Ten Hag is really coming up, setting up the team to become a force in EPL. I love the way. And one good thing that's going to, I found out about the game yesterday and how they have been playing. There's, he's playing the United way. That is how Man United play. They don't always look good in the eye, but they take their chances. They don't sit back like they're packing the balls, but they do counter press. They allow you to come at them to a certain stage. Depends on you. Once they win the ball, they are in your box. And they did that so many times yesterday against Arsenal. They did it so many times. And if I were
them the goals.
Yeah, if I were a Man United fan, after watching that game yesterday, I'll be optimistic going into the season. I mean, the season, it doesn't really count, but the way Man United was structured yesterday, the way they approached the game and the way they played the game, even with those younger players that were in the starting 11, they gave a very good account of themselves, and it shows some promise for United and their fans. They can look forward towards the new season coming up, that the team is going to do well. The only problem I had yesterday with United was Mason Mount. At some point, I even forgot he was on the pitch. You know, he didn't do justice to himself. I know we've been talking about Kai Havertz, but his was worse. His was worse. I know Kai Havertz
He disappeared.
didn't do well. You know, he lost Bruno on the first goal and missed some. You know, some press. His intensity was low. But Mason Mount, on the other hand, for me, he was anonymous on the pitch. And then at some point, I didn't remember that he was on the pitch. I was looking for him. I couldn't even, you know, find. There was no impact. There was nothing to refer to Mason Mount for. That was nice. That was done. So I think talking about Kai Havertz, Mason Mount has a lot of work to do. He needs to understand his role in that team and roll his sleeves and get down to business. I mean, Man United devoted almost 1/4 of the transfer window to chase and get him. So he should repay them back and put in some good performances. You know, that's my take for United. I don't know if you have any other thing to add.
Well, I think you've said it all. Mason Mount. I was speaking to my Chelsea friends. They are very aggressive. Yesterday, one sent me a message and said, "How far? How is it going?" That he just kept watching Mason and he kept watching Kai Havertz and he was shaking his head. I was like, "You guys just keep carrying your negative energy everywhere." I guess it's Chelsea. Chelsea fans are the ones making these guys play bad football. Because they actually said they were getting rid of, some very bad players, and these guys go to this team. And of course, we know how football is played in United and in Arsenal. You have to think fast. You remember the day we had this talk about Kai Havertz? Ugum was here that day, and I said something, but Ugum was able to convince me. I was talking about Kai being fast on the ball. I kept using Kai is not fast on the ball, okay? But at the end of the day, Ugum convinced me and said, "Don't worry, Kai is a good deal. He's going to be fast on the ball and all of that." And that's what you're talking about now. He's not fast on the ball, okay? Being fast on the ball is all about, retrieving the ball, your retrieval, and then your delivery. That's you being fast on the ball. The same thing happening to Mason Mount. Yes, he wasn't fast on the ball. He wasn't thinking fast. Kai was not fast on the ball because he shouldn't have lost Bruno. He lost Bruno.
Yes.
Before Bruno could take, make that take it.
Yeah, when that goal was scored, when that goal was scored, I was like, wow, Kai Havertz of all people, they're gonna be on your back. They're gonna be on your
oh my day. Oh my day.
No reason. Bruno is not he's not the strongest player I can come across on the pitch. It's almost like Havertz. So for him to outmuscle you and have a shot on goal from his left foot, he didn't speak well for Kai Havertz, and I can imagine Nketiah would have turned into him in that dressing room. He doesn't play.
Yes, he doesn't hold back.
You can't lose your man like that. He can't. Guys, as we go on, we still remind you to subscribe if you have not, and share and like this video. Get busy in the comment section and let us know. I know the banter season is back. Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea. We are gradually going back into the banter season. So Man United fans, get in the comment section. Let us know what you feel. Chelsea fans, I know you guys, you think you're laughing at United and Arsenal now. You got rid of bad players. Let's know what you feel. Chimo, I know you're going to watch this video. Get down in the comment section and banter Choma, and let's see how it goes. So, Choma, before we continue, let me ask you. So, after watching Arsenal play United yesterday, and we played the MLS All-Stars, what's your overall rating of the team? What do you think? Have your expectation about Arsenal, considering what we did last season? Your expectation going to the next season, has it changed, or do you think there are still work to be done? Or are you a little bit, how do you feel right now?
After yesterday, I was shaky. I mean, I was yelling a lot, like just alone on my own, shouting, "What is this?" And then I sat down and I thought, come on, you guys, we finally are going to the Champions League. We cannot play like this. We can't. Okay, let's even talk about the Community Shield. You know, we're playing City, right? You
Exactly.
remember?
Exactly.
Okay. And we just played our side chicks, United. We just played them friendly. And it was very unfriendly, very harsh, heartbreaking. Is it this way? This is not the way we started last season. I'm sure I kept records. This isn't what we started with. So, like, how do we even lose to? See, I would have preferred it if we drew that game, like 1-1. It would have been better. You know, everybody were on the same level. But 2-0, we're united, even if it's a friendly match. No, now. It's not even good for their confidence. Like, it's not good. I don't know what's happening in their heads right now. Because we still have like a long line of games to play with United. That is not a friendly game. It's a points game. We have to get those points. So how do I feel? I'm a bit unsettled. I'm not taking it well. I'm telling you the truth. I didn't take it well. I mean, when I saw my live scores match report, I was angry. I was like,
Jama, to be frank with you, I think I feel exactly the way you feel. I didn't take that game well. I was a little bit disturbed. I tried to find a reason to convince myself to remind myself it's just a preseason. But the more I did that, the more I got upset. You know, I could see some things I thought I tried. I know that's not going to be the team I'm going to put out starting into the game. But you also know that sometimes in the season, you're going to play with that team. Because some people might lose games, some people might have injuries. So what if that time comes? But the reason I managed to tell myself is that yes, Karen Timber is not ready to start for Arsenal now. So Ben White is going to start. And when Ben White came in, it was different. Sasaka played differently. You know, Declan Rice and Partey, if I were Arteta, considering what I have seen, I think Arteta should work more of starting Partey and Rice together until after a while, when the team gets into their rhythm, then you can start to think about. But if we go into the season starting Declan Rice in that position by himself as a pivot, then play Havertz and Odegaard, I don't think it's going to be good for Arsenal. That's what, you know. So I came to that conclusion, and I told myself, well, I trust Arteta between now and the next 2-3 before the season starts. He knows what he needs to do to get the team ready going into the season. You know, because if you say it's just a preseason, but last season, all our preseason games, apart from Man, was the first one that we drew, I think so. The rest, we cleaned them out and we went to the season with that same spirit, and we did well. So if we want to go with last year's preseason and what we did, so it's disturbing that if we don't do well in the preseason, it might also affect us in going into the men's season itself. And what you said before about Champions League, I don't want to go to Champions League just because we're Champions League. No, I want to go to Champions League, if possible this season. Try to win it, because right now we have the squad. So I'm not going there with some people saying, yesterday I was interviewing some fans, and people were saying quarterfinals. No, I'm not going to go into Champions League expecting Arsenal to just do well. I want Arsenal to win the Champions League. And it's winnable with the squad that we have if they are mentally ready. You know, so for me, that's the way I see it. And on the other hand, I don't know what you feel, but for me, United needs to be taken seriously this coming season. And one thing United fans should take away from that game yesterday is the second choice goalkeeper, because they have signed Onana. He didn't even play. That guy yesterday kept United in the game. He saved a lot of balls, and he was very, very good and comfortable with his feet, you know, on the ball. So I think United are going to have themselves two quality goalkeepers that are going to be able to play the way Ten Hag wants them to play. And that's a very, 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 very big, you know, plus for United. So I don't know what you think or what you expect of United going into next season. You're on mute.
okay, I think you've said it all. We actually made jokes of, you know, United picking up next season, last season. My friends and I usually, like, you know, I'm very cool with my United friends. It's my Chelsea friends that they make me a bit uneasy sometimes. We were just, you know, talking about how Ten Hag was just going to, you know, put up some good fronts, and it's happening before my eyes. You know, it's happening before my eyes. I mean, I said to them, I'm like, you guys, United are actually going to be a big deal next season.
Yeah, I agree with
And
you.
then we go and play them, and they're in the big deal. So these guys are not the people that anybody should want to come and joke with.
Yeah, I agree with
Okay,
you.
because they've got the squad. I can't lie. They've got the squad.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So
For
guys,
the midfielders problem they used to have, you know, they used to have some midfield wahala, you know, how many seasons ago, they didn't know what they were doing in the midfield and all of that. But now, you know, the way it's started, everything is okay.
yeah, I mean, United needs to be taken serious of. So guys, yeah, we're keeping the show short today. We're just looking at this game and the preseason for Arsenal so far. Like I said, don't forget to look out for us if you're at LA this midweek for the game between Arsenal and Barcelona. We're going to be there. Transit TV is going to be there at the stadium. Look for us, you know, to grant us interviews if you want to. Get this in the comment section and let us know what you think about the game yesterday, considering what we have said, I and Choma. You know, we have put in our own dimensions to what we saw about the game. So let's see and read, and we'll take your comments in the next show. Coming next weekend as well, after the Barca game, we're going to be having the second leg of the fan fiesta. We're going to have Chelsea, Man U, United, Man City, Barcelona fans. We're going to come again like we did in the beginning of the transfer window to look at how this clubs has done in the transfer market so far, what we have seen with these various clubs in the preseason, and look at expectations for different various fans for their clubs and rival clubs. So just look out and reach out to us as well if you want to be on the show for that, because we want to have as many clubs represented as possible. We've not had much about Liverpool. Our man Morris is going to be here as well for that one to help us understand what's going on in Liverpool. We also know about what's going on with Mbappe. I'm sure by next weekend we'll also have a clearer picture of what's going to happen with Mbappe and PSG. So stick around in this channel. We're going to try as much as possible to keep you up to date. What we do here is try to look at issues and events happening in the beautiful game of football and give you our views to it. And if you have been a loyal viewer on this channel, you will see that most of the things that we have talked about and predicted has come to pass, though some of them we have missed them. So stick around with us. Thank you for watching us today. Choma, I don't know if you have any parting words for our viewer before we go.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you, Reggie, for having me, treating me nicely. And don't forget to subscribe. As usual, we are doing great. That's all I just want to say.
Thank you, Choma. Thank you for coming to the show, having time always as ever. We really appreciate you, and our viewers as well. They always give us feedback. They like, your performance on the show. Thank you for coming today, and we hope to be here again very soon. Bye for now.